We're headed to Prince George, the last town of any size for a while. There is a Honda dealer there. We're trying to pick up a spare clutch lever. We're wearing the rain gloves, and they are one size too small. So, a little annoying. So Prince George, we'll push on from there, and we'll stop somewhere before the start of the Cassiar Highway. It's going to be raining there tomorrow, I believe. At least it will be in Stewart. So, made the best of it. It's amazing. Where I stayed last night, Ramada, it was fine. This is a medium-sized town. They have a cinema, a couple of restaurants, decent dinner. Where I stayed last night was the same cost as staying in Whistler, with a sauna and laundry facilities.
There are people who ride motorcycles who don't ride in the rain, and I completely get that. But if you're on a long journey, it's pretty much bound to happen. So the best way to cope with it, I've found, is just heated grips and keep your feet dry. I once rode through Miami, Oklahoma. Must have been an inch of water on the highway. The worst part was my boots were still wet the next day, so I had to wear plastic bags on my feet.
Fireworks.
Speaking of being comfortable, I screwed up when I packed the clothing for this trip. Way too many base layers and underwear, thinking that laundry would be hard to find. It wasn't. And not enough top, thicker layers. I ended up buying more clothing in Washington, in BC, and further down the road.
We have one camera that works, this one that half works, and the lower one is not working today. I think if there was one camera I would change for something else, I think it would be the GoPro 360. It's got the protective little shields over the lens, but because there's obviously some heat in the camera when it works, we've got condensation all over the inside of the lens. Plus, the main button, the one-touch button to switch it on, doesn't work most of the time.
One lesson I never really seem to learn is leave some space in your luggage. You will acquire things.
We're about 10 miles from Prince George. It is cleared up a little. Seems like the rain has stopped. Legs a little chilly, but other than that, not too bad. So we're going to stop in at the Honda dealer and have a talk with them about what's going to be up the road and if my rear tire, how long it's going to last.
To be fair to Prince George, I only really saw the outskirts of it on a very rainy, overcast day, so it felt pretty industrial, but I'm probably not portraying it in its best light.
Alright, we do have a decent-sized Canadian superstore here, so this will be the last place in a while to pick up any extra clothing or anything else we need. So we stopped at the Honda place here. They did have a rear tire, and they confirmed my rear tire is 50% worn, down to about 5mm of tread in the middle. They recommend replacement at 3mm or something like that. So we're going to head for Smithers, a couple hundred miles to the north, west, before the Cassiar Highway, and we'll find a place to stay there and then try and sort out our accommodations in Stewart and further along than that. Quick stop. I think we've managed to get this thing charging again. It was charged last night and today it just behaves as if it's dead. We'll see what happens. Anyway, back to the road.
I start second guessing my decision not to buy a tire in Prince George, so I'm going to make some calls and see what I can find before the Cassiar Highway.
Cute little motel. Church. There's gas. Find some warm food. spoke to, I think it was Trails North in Smithers, who have a 130 rear tyre. It's a 120 on there now. And then I spoke to the customs guy, Sam, who fits the tyres. And a 130 might be the from Trails North, a guy called Martin, might be the only thing in town that's gonna fit. So otherwise, it's get a tire sent up from Prince George, the same tire I looked at this morning, or we take the gamble and press on for 900 miles to Whitehorse, Yukon. So better safe than sorry. Sam is the tire expert around here, and he said slap on the 130. So we will do that tomorrow morning and have a fresh tire for the Cassiar Highway, if we ever get through all of this. Right, we've passed through a pretty heavy patch of rain. It's getting lighter now and brighter in front of us, so but yeah, it's coming down worse than any other point on this journey. Nothing to do but push on. There's no shelter, no cover. Is that a tiny patch of blue? Regardless, it felt like there was half an inch of standing water everywhere a minute ago, and now it's cleared up a bit. Definitely staying away from the painted lines. I'm trying to stay in the middle of the lane, maybe just if it's a little bit higher. Echo Lake. Gas and fireworks. A lot of warnings about animals, but so far I have not seen anything. 5 p.m. and the sun's finally out. Took a while. I suspect that's the direction we're going to be heading in tomorrow, towards that mountain. That is where we're going to pick up a tire tomorrow and hope that it fits, and then we'll find a guy called Sam to put it on.
A quick search for accommodation in downtown Smithers, and I find something within 2 blocks of the high street that's affordable. Immediately I've decided I like this town. Couldn't tell you why, but maybe just the backdrop is stunning. I had schnitzel at the Alpenhorn. The staff there were amazing at offering suggestions for the trip. And you've guessed right, on the way home from dinner it started raining again.
Clouds are not far above us. Wow, how's that for a view? We'll get some gloves on when we stop in a minute. Right, should have put the gloves on. It's colder than I thought. Where we need to go should be just here, past the grocery store, on the right. Here we are. Trails North Power Sports, and we're looking for Martin. Not a lot of bikes, much more of an ATV place.
I never thought about it really, but the further you go north, the more these are ATV showrooms, not motorcycle dealers. But I'm kind of annoyed to see my bike on the showroom floor, given I had to wait 6 months to get mine. Oh, and up north, you buy your chainsaws where you get your motorcycles. I start wondering how long these tires have been stored outside, but there's really no choice. I buy it, strap it onto the bike.
Right. Down to the Toyota dealership, make a right, then a left. My wallet still in my pocket, although you would think that they had stolen it from me. That was not a cheap tire, but well, needs must.
Sam at Eye Candy Customs could not have been more helpful. I also asked him on the off chance if there was a welder in town because there was something I wanted to change on the bike.
So, new tyre fitted. Thank you to Sam from Eye Candy Customs who squeezed the bike in and got the job done. Lovely man as well, certainly knows what he's doing. He's recommended I stop by Ronnie's Welding to see if I can widen the side stand of the bike.
More important than any welding is that he's just had a litter of St. Bernard puppies.
What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? Hey, come on. What's up, girls? Hey,
Some 8.
Hi, guys. 4, 6, 8. There's one more yet. Hey, buddies. Hey, buddies. Where's the other one? Hey.
I ask him if he's keeping them, and then he asks me if I know how much it costs to feed them. Fair point. Within 2 minutes, he's cut out a wider side stand foot and welded it to the bike. The kindness of everybody I encountered that morning will stay with me for a while. Ronnie's also more than happy to show me around some of his handiwork. He races these things.
Right. Got the side stand widened at Ronnie's. Amazing job. Got to see the puppies as well of the St. Bernard, and we're on our way to Stewart with a widened side stand. This town could not have been more helpful to me. Between the people last night giving advice about the road, between Sam and the tyre, between Ronnie and the welding, and Martin who had the tyre, this has been a really good place to stop. Smithers, British Columbia. If I'd have had a sidecar on this thing, I would have been taking a puppy home. Would have probably put on 50 pounds in weight by the time we get back. Wow. The barriers and the traffic lights are attached to the back of the pickup truck. It's a very organised setup. There's nobody holding a lollipop that says go or stop. Almost feels like we're at the top of the world. Still got a long way to go. Right, we got a logging truck bearing down on us. Here he comes. Slow down, make it easy for him.
I find myself comparing the landscape to Scotland a bit. It can be grey, it can be raining, it can be cold, but the view's still stunning. Enough to distract you from most things.
Interrupted their lunch. Seen a few logging trucks, one deer, a few birds, a few cars, and a couple of campers in the last, 30-40 miles. So not a lot. Still on bear watch. Nothing so far. I was assured by a local yesterday who drove down this road that she saw about 20 bears over the stretch of it, but so far nothing. But I'm pretty confident we'll see something. pretty lonely road. Haven't seen anyone behind me for 20 miles, maybe? There's a logging camp right here, I think. Right, all fueled up for the last 40-something miles to Stewart. Depending what we do tomorrow morning, Bell Lodge might be where we end up. Or Bell 2, call it. Some sights. We got our bear. Just a little one. That was cool.
Having done very little research about most of the trip, I'm utterly surprised to come around a corner and find my very first glacier.
Did not expect to see that. Right, a bear and a glacier in the same day. That is pretty good. And 23 miles to go. Oh, I'm looking forward to dinner. There's snow right there. Wow, this is just a privilege. Today has been pretty stunning, even if the weather hasn't really cooperated, and I think it's just going to get better.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. Hi.
Even as I'm trying to unload the bike, the view is just distracting. If I have one bad thing to say about Stewart, sadly it's the pizza. Next up, we're going to cross into Alaska without immigration.